In the brutal podcast system, any jackass with a microphone and internet connection can pose as an expert on any topic under the sun. Fortunately, however, there exists a humble duo of said jackasses who at least aspire to minimize the effects of the current egregious level of aforementioned fake-ass horseshit and those who perpetrate it. This duo attempts this very noble task by allowing you, the listener, to have total unimpeded access to the real minutia of their pathetic everyday lives. This two-member task force is known deep within the podcast world as Zero Front. These are their stories.
Welcome back for another edition of Zero Front. Joe, how you doing today?
I'm not doing bad. I'm not doing bad. I'm not really enjoying this unseasonably warm weather though, brother. And but it's going to cool off for the next couple of days. So in the interim, I'll sit here in my air conditioning and chill. But how you been, man?
See, I'm loving the weather. Like yesterday, I ran outside. I ran about 4 miles outside. I live in a nice area where there's so much to explore when you go walking and running. Like I
hmm
discovered this whole new area yesterday that I didn't even know existed. Um, it was cool. It was cool. But yeah, man. See. I'm more of a warm weather type of guy. I know you're more of like a colder weather type guy. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. Did you know that there is a rat-shaped hole in Chicago? A rat-shaped hole that people go to and worship. They leave offerings, they leave cards, they leave flowers, they leave liquor, just because the hole is shaped like a rat. Um, Apparently it's been around for 30 years, but it went viral in January. It got national attention, and people started like traveling large distances to see it. And then someone tried to cover it up with cement, but they dug it out and they got the rat shaped hole back to what it was like originally. But um,
Was it a
what do you think about
natural
that?
occurrence? It's a
I
natural
I,
hole?
I don't know, like no, I don't know if anyone knows like how the hell the rat shaped hole even started. I'm guessing that there was a rat around pavement or cement. I don't know, but
And
it's
how
just a
big is it,
weird.
Sean, roughly? Is it like 20 feet
It's
wide or?
oh, dude, no, it's the size of it's like literally the size of like a rat. I think just like the size of a rat.
Oh, wow! I thought you were talking about some anomaly, some physical thing where it was
No,
this.
no,
Oh,
no.
you're talking about just the size of a rat. There's a hole,
Yeah, people are like going
the
crazy
shape of a
over it. It's like
rat.
what, it's weird, man.
That it's the shape of a rat or the size of a rat. It's the shape of a rat, right? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I from the pictures that I saw, it looks like the shape of a rat, and obviously rats can be different sizes, so whatever, just the
Well, yeah,
shape of a
and
yeah.
yeah. But you know what, Shawnee? This day and age, people will. I mean, people will. Honest to God, you got this. And listen, to each his own. But you got people bowing down to all kinds of weird shit. Okay, so you know what I mean. So as long as the people there are not hurting anyone or doing anything wrong, if that's if
But
they
no,
want to,
it's just one
yeah,
of those things, man, where you're just like, wow, man. But then
people need a hobby
I
or
was
some
listening to
shit.
The Stern Show recently, and there are some weird people out there. This guy Wolfie is a correspondent for them. Also, this guy Mehmet, he went to some a convention thing where people were like, guys like want their testicles and like penis to be the size of they want their balls to be the size of like bowling balls, so they get
What the
injections
fuck?
and
Yeah, you
they
said,
cust
get the fuck
they
out of here.
they
Who
put
in the
they
re-
that's
are
what I'm
these
saying
people been
because you got me thinking
screened?
about that because
Are they okay mentally?
just thinking about how the world is very weird. There's weird people out there. So the Stern Show, they always find these weird like groups of people who like do these odd things, and like they have like real
Yeah.
correspondents. Like it's like real like 60 Minutes has like war correspondents. They have like the Howard Stern Show has like
Uh,
their correspondents who go but anyway.
HBO, yeah, HBO used to do real sex where they have people sticking
Oh
glass
yeah,
bottles up
yeah.
their ass and weird shit like that. I mean, I used to like, what the fuck? I couldn't even watch it half the time. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this one dude's like he's like yeah they're like he's asking him is like yeah I can't really do a lot of stuff because it's just so heavy. I can't really go running. I can't do this. So these people are like obsessed with like having like monster size like I'm not talking about like normal like that could be human like I'm talking about like monster size like testicles. It's like it's really bizarre the world we live in. But anyway, let's not stay on that topic.
That is
It
weird.
just got me thinking about how the world is weird, and that was recently on the Stern shows. This got me
It
thinking about some weird
well,
stuff, man.
it took balls to bring that up. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
I'm just fucking
Um,
with you.
so anyway, you know Kevin Durant, the basketball player?
Yes.
He was being interviewed at a post-game press conference years ago, and a reporter asked him, "Why do they call you KD?" And I got to be honest, instead of him being like a dick about it or start laughing and like, well, he said, well, my name is Kevin Durant. Those are my initials. You got to feel bad for that reporter though. Like, that's got to be, why do
Oh,
you?
hey, Sean, I'm going to tell you something. And this you can, I do. To answer your question, I do. But this is also verifiable that when Doug Williams during Super Bowl week in 1987, I think it was 1987, is Doug Williams was going to be the starting quarterback and was the starting quarterback for the Washington Redskins at the time. And you know how media week is that week prior to Super Bowl. One guy asked him, "Have you always been a black quarterback?" I swear to God, he asked him that question. And Doug he was a gentleman about it, but it was like, have I always been a black quarterback? No, I was a fucking orange quarterback till 2 years ago. Like, what the fuck? But the reporter asked the question, have you always been a black quarterback? Now, obviously, the reporter meant something, but he phrased it that way. And you would
Yeah.
think a reporter would have enough sense not to make that kind of, have you always, it's like, it's like going to your doctor or someone say, have you? Anyway, it reminded me of that. But so
And then just speaking of the weird world, I saw an article because we haven't done a show since like mid-February, so I got some notes lined up and some random stuff here.
wow, all the
Um,
way back 3 weeks ago. Wow. Go
yeah.
ahead. You make it
Um,
sound like it was fucking 15 years. Go ahead.
it's amazing the amount of crap that can because I just keep a lot of notes, so the amount of stuff I can just keep like
Good.
compiling in my notes. I'm like, well, I got a lot to
Good.
get to. But
Exactly.
um, so there's this guy in Texas, and he was going into this doesn't sound like one of our on the real fake stories. He was going in the store like this antique store, and he was observed several times by people. He was wearing a kilt. A kilt is like a male
I
skirt, and he
well,
was sticking antiques in his butt and putting them back in the shelves. So it's like what kind of world are we like? What do you think he was thinking? Do you think he was like he was getting off on people like buying stuff that he had stuck in his butt?
dude, I people have so many. I mean, I would want to see this Joker and have him evaluated really not really he could have some problems. He could be not right. You know what I mean? He could be imbalanced and so forth. Psychologically, I'd want to do that too. I want to find out more about what the hell is going on with him. Certainly break out the Lysol and the bleach cleaner for the merchandise, you know. But there are people with so many weird, like I was just telling you before, with so many weird fetishes and hangups and um there was another. I saw a thing on another. It was a program on one of these jokers, and one of these jokers was they go up to these are some of the guys they put themselves in positions where women are going to catch them while they're being autoerotic. You follow what I'm saying? But they
Yeah,
put
yeah.
themselves in these positions where they know these women are going to catch them, and it's not even what they're doing; it's the fact that they know now that whatever woman saw, it's it's what they get off on, and this will blow your mind. They get off on knowing that that person saw them.
Well,
So I mean
isn't that kind of like dudes who wear like those big raincoats and like flash people? Aren't they getting off on the fact
that,
that people
that
can see them?
right. So it's that on steroids because at least those jokers they just open it up and then they're gone, right? But these these other ones they get into the mix with themselves, and you know what I mean, and hoping for their real climax is having someone, a girl or woman or whatever. They plan that out before, right? But no, it's like, and the character in the thing said, "Well, I knew this way. I knew that she was watching me." That's what really gave me. It's like, whoa, Gus. It's just, yeah. The human behavior is really wild, Gus, and almost nothing surprises me. But you know, I
Yeah, I heard
just keep your distance from. Go ahead.
there's a guy in Washington D.C. He's suing the organizers of the Powerball lottery for 320 million because they listed the winning numbers on their website that matched his numbers,
Uh-huh.
and he thought he won. The prize was 340 million. He went to redeem his ticket. Um, it was denied, obviously. It wasn't the right number. So basically, the website had the wrong numbers. So he's trying to get some money. Like, what that would really upset me if I thought I won the
Yeah,
lottery. Like, I would rather. But
yeah,
here's the thing about me with my OCD and that type of stuff. I wouldn't trust the website. What I would do is probably like double and triple check. You know what I mean? Because like I probably wouldn't be able to believe it. Like, okay, I won the lottery. Okay, I'll just like calm down. Okay, check this, check
yeah.
that, check that. And then this guy just I mean, listen, I know the lottery's in the wrong here. I know he deserves something because it's got to be emotional. If you're like a lawyer, you're like, okay, sorry, you have emotional distress, you have PTSD, you have all these different things. Let's go with this. Let's get you some money here because you really thought you won. Um, so that's kind of, I feel
Oh
bad for the
yeah.
guy. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's mental torture, dude. If you think you he hit something like that, my big fear all the time was, what if I ever hit something like that or thought I hit something like that and it was just the wrong day, the right
Oh my
numbers.
God. Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine that? So, yeah, they were wrong. And look, everyone makes mistakes, but unfortunately, their mistake was a big one, and it cost this guy a lot of anguish. I mean, the emotional, the emotional seesaw and the upset, that's trauma, So I think what they should go after is like, what was the prize? 300 million. They should ask him for like, 3 million bucks.
Yeah. His name is John Cheeks too. He's got kind of a funny name, John Cheeks.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I saw there's some dude who's a full-time computer coder and he lives on a train full time, like a very like high-end luxury train in Germany. He lives on the train full time. Um, I guess he's able to support himself by working, on a computer remotely, but that sounds interesting, but I don't know if I want to do that. I've heard people living on cruise ships full time too. I don't know if I want to be stuck on a train or a cruise ship full time. I get kind of spooked. I probably get claustrophobic or kind of get like annoyed or anxious and be like, yeah, I got to get off this thing. But even I know they can let them off for a couple hours here and there, but I don't know, man. That to me is a little bit, it's like overkill, you know?
Well, for how long does he have to do it?
He doesn't have to do it. He's choosing to do it. He's
Well, for
doing
how
it
long is he? Go
full
ahead.
time. Like that's where he's
Oh,
living
well,
full time.
that's his full. Okay. The boat I
They,
couldn't
they,
do.
they
The
provide like,
train I would think about. Go ahead.
they provide like a full meal and stuff. So he's got all his meal, everything's taken care of for him. I don't know if they have showers or he said he showers at like some local place or something. I don't know.
I think I think some of those trains, Sean, some of those like traveling trains, I'd be shocked if they don't have a shower stall or
Yeah.
something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, if it's the right train, but the ocean thing, the water thing, the boat thing, no, no, sir, that's not me. But I think I crave for a beautiful train, and yeah, I could think about that. But nah,
Yeah.
not out there on that water, brother. Can't do
Have
it.
you ever thought about
No, no, fuck with you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
when sheep, sometimes people are driving and they see like a farm, like a farmland beyond the road, and they see like sometimes they'll see sheep upside down. Like one guy the other day, he said he saw a sheep at 8 in the morning, and then driving back from work later on, the same sheep was there upside down. So he got out of his car and he turned the sheep upside down. But I did some research. Apparently, it's easy for sheep to like get flipped upside down and they can't flip themselves back up. So it's a lot of farmers were chiming in on Reddit. They're like, "Yeah, this happens all the time. It's really unfortunate. We try to help them as much as we can, but
Well,
it's kind of crazy that some other people start saying like, yeah, sheep have bad eyes and they sometimes they walk off cliffs. But then someone else
well,
said, I don't know if that's because they have bad eyes or it's because like there's sometimes the wool grows so long and they can't see properly. I've seen some sheep with a lot of wool. And if they're not sheared properly, they can literally just like not see and just walk off things, I guess.
so I mean, you say upside down. They're on their back with their feet in the air.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. They're like in
So
they're
they're
like
on
in
their
li
back. Okay.
they're like in a living anxious hell. Like just they
Wow.
can't do anything about it, and like someone else has to like physically like turn them over.
Wow. I've heard cows have had sometimes cows have problems like that. I've heard that. I
It
mean, I
seems
don't
like it would
know.
happen. It seems like it would happen more with a sheep than a cow because cows are like they're
Yeah.
more like balanced. The sheep has like a weird. It's like easier for it to get tipped over. The cow's heavier. It's bigger. I don't know.
I don't know. That's
But
wild stuff, dude.
you were saying something about an album cover that you wanted to talk about because this
Sure.
before we talk about it, I've been reading a really good Bruce Springsteen's one of my idols, one of my heroes. He's from my hometown, Freehold, New Jersey. He wrote his autobiography called Born to Run, and he's got a lot of good. Every time I read it, I always get good insights. He said one thing that drew him to music when he was younger is like that the singer could sound simultaneously happy and sad at the same time, and that really that's the music he gravitated towards. That makes a lot of sense. Because a lot of his music, he could sound happy and sad at the same damn time. But he started talking about his favorite album covers. He discovered the Beatles, and he says his favorite album cover of all time, and the it got me thinking, is that me and you were talking about doing album covers in the show, and I just read this like a couple days ago, and he was like, "Yeah, well, the album cover that I really think is iconic is called Meet the Beatles. It's just a picture of the Beatles with the long hair. It's like black background, and like he was like, all this, back then when he saw that album cover, it was kind of frowned upon to have the long hair, at least
Mhm.
So then he saw that album cover, he's like, damn, like this is a cool iconic album cover. It's called Meet the Beatles, but it just got me thinking because we have been talking about this for a little bit. You got an album cover you want to talk about a little bit?
Yeah. First of all, the album cover idea, I want to give it to you, is a very good idea. It's because we're not talking about lyrics. We're not even necessarily talking about music. We're talking about a separate entity here that every now and then we're going to pick one and just do one and talk about it very briefly, right? So it's just for what you see, just for the artwork or the message that it sends. It's just the album cover. And mine, I don't know what it was or whatever. Maybe it's so close to St. Patty's Day. Maybe I'm like, 20%, 25% Irish. So I don't know. But anyway, it's U2, and the album is called War. And 1983 is when it came out. It has New Year's Day and Bloody Sunday and so forth and so on. It was inspired by their frustration with the goings on in Ireland around that time, and their frustration or heartache and
Yeah, because they
and
had like the Irish Republic. So they had the IRA and stuff like that. So
IRA, yeah, okay, right. And I don't want to get into a history lesson, but I do want to shed light on this. This album cover, this young fella, he's about 11 years old, his face on the album cover of War was the same kid who was on the album cover of I Will Follow a couple of years before that. A couple of years before that, he looked very docile, just a happy, just he had an army helmet on or whatever, that kind of a thing, but he didn't look really, couple years later, this one, and if you could see it's a famous album cover, but the eyes just pierce right through you. He's got a busted lip, a bloody lip, and it was just they felt it was a very good depiction of what can happen during times of war and strife to little kids, and how at one moment innocence is gone, and survival and anger and retribution take over. And it's a shame when it happens that early, but famous album cover. The album is War. The group is U2. Take a quick look. Take a look at those eyes. Take a look at the little busted lip. And it's just one of those album covers that and again, the nice thing is here, Sean, is we have myriad of material to choose
wait,
from.
so I'm doing a little reading about this. The person's name is Peter Rowan, and you're saying that he was on several different album covers?
He was on the album cover of I Will Follow, a couple years before that. So it's good. It's all good. It's a good album cover. Look at the kid's eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at the busted lip. And St. Patty's Day's tomorrow. So
The U2 always has like weird album covers. They had a couple album covers a couple years ago. It's called The Songs of Innocence or something like that.
Mhm.
And it was like a dude with no shirt on hugging another dude with no shirt on. So I guess their
yeah,
album covers, their
I could
album
do
covers are
without
like,
that shit.
yeah, but like their album covers to me are always kind of weird. Like they're always like kind of
Well, yeah,
like
that
this,
one is weird. This one's not so
this,
weird as it is just kind of like, wow, it's like piercing. Uh,
I guess it's one of those things
the
where,
other one gives me concerns, but go ahead. But go ahead.
well,
Just yeah.
they're talking about like war, and if you see a kid with a bloody lip, it shows like, yeah, kids are involved in war too. Is that the whole theme?
Well, okay, so the theme is that there was war going on around in Ireland around that time.
Yeah.
Okay. And at any time when you have a little kids that age, when they stop being little boys and start becoming young soldiers because of their environment that forced that on them. Okay. So that's kind of what that is. The effects of war and hate and all this kind of stuff that can have on a little 11-year-old kid to take them
Yeah.
from a
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
you got it. All right.
when I'm
We can
interpreting is
roll
like,
on though, Sean. We don't have all night. We can. Yeah, that's a good. It's a good album cover and it's a good picture. And if you got any closing comments on it, fine. But we can
yeah,
roll.
what I interpret it, it's a loss of innocence.
Right.
War
Exactly.
can do. So yeah, yeah. It's whatever,
That's
man.
what I
That's
said 5 minutes ago, you mullet head. Now go ahead. I'm
no,
just
because
kidding.
I started I went down a rabbit hole reading about the U2 like album covers.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
I'm
don't.
like, why?
And
I'm like, why are
bear
they
in mind,
using the?
folks, we're not going to do history lessons here or anything like that. We're just going to give you the album cover, a brief synopsis of what the artist was trying to convey, and then we can move on. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
I
cool.
was yeah, because that was I was surprised at that choice. I was because that to me, I don't know. I don't know. Those that's just like a simple little album cover because we're going to talk about album covers a
Oh,
lot in
this
the
is a
show,
classic album
and
cover,
we
though.
have
This
we're
is an
like
absolute classic album cover. I
there are
don't
some
think, right.
there are some
So,
iconic ones though that are just
well,
like different.
there are, but that's the whole point is that this isn't a contest to see which one's better or this and that. You know what I mean? If it were, I
Yeah,
probably would have started there a couple of, but this is still a classic album cover. And
yeah.
really, it's subjective because when you do your album cover, Sean, I'm not asking you to go get the most popular one. I'm get one that you like. And
Yeah, let me
I
ask you
think
let me
when
ask you
you
a question. Sorry.
whoa,
Do you
what
think
happened to your microphone, Sean?
microphone's off again? Off again.
Well, it's kind of choppy.
Hold on. Every time I move this wire, I can hear better now. Better now.
No, you're all choppy.
Hold on.
Go.
We're back. We had a brief little. I guess my headset kind of got messed up for a little bit. I don't know if it was the Wi-Fi or the headset. I think it's like
That's
whenever I
okay.
move this headset. But anyway, Joe, let me ask you a serious question. You've been to Madison Square Garden for the Billy Joel concert. Do you think that every seat in Madison Square Garden has been farted on at some point?
Um, you know what? I would tend, I would tend, I would, it's been around for a long, long, long time. There's been a lot of asses in those seats. You know what I mean? If you start counting the events and this and that, I would probably say that's a safe bet, I would think. But it's hard to tell. It's hard to, I mean, maybe not. I don't mess around like that when I'm out in public or sitting like real close to other people, something like that.
No,
You know what
because
I mean?
I saw a Reddit thread about that. Like someone posted a Reddit thread and people were like going down with their theories and stuff, and it was funny, man.
All right, I got a
But
question for you now, Buster. All right, my question to you is your favorite weekly Instagram video. You know, we do these all the time. We send videos all the time back and forth. And we did
yeah,
this last show too. Give me your favorite one this week.
it's easy. This is the one I sent you yesterday. I don't know if you watched it or not. These guys were on a like a train or like a I think it was like a one of those trolleys in the middle, like it was some sort of train or trolley in the middle of the street. Maybe it was a
Um,
train, but anyway, they were
oh, yeah, yeah.
they bet each other. He's like, "Do you think I can make it to the next stop before you guys get there?" So this friend stayed in the train. He jumped off at that stop and he sprinted as fast as he could to the next stop. And as the train was going down the street, he he's like the friends were cracking up, so it was really funny. Like he was running really fast and he got
Yeah.
there just the time, and then he jumped on and they were cracking up. People on the train, I don't know if a lot of people knew what was going on, but I thought that was because I was like, that's something that me and my friends would possibly do. Like that's something really funny, man. It's a funny like dare, you know?
Oh yeah, that's something that there's without a doubt. My friends and I would do that kind of shit too in our 20s, that kind of. But I saw that boy. He took off and he sure as hell was winded, and I don't blame
I
him.
thought the most endearing part of the whole thing was just hearing his friends laugh as they saw him running. Like that was just fucking. I was laughing with them. It was funny as hell, man.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure for a second. Like, what is he actually? Is he trying to do? Okay, he's just trying to board. He's trying to board this at the next station, and yeah, I'd have made it about 1/3 of the way, and the way he was running, he was booking. I'd, but he's young, he was thin, in shape, and he probably had. You know what? I'm kind of thinking that he may have tried that like one day when no one else was around or something. Maybe he did. I don't know. But good one though, Sean. I'm going to tell you what mine was. The other day, I was just thumbing through and I caught this one. I don't know if I sent it to you or not. I went back today and I can't find. Don't you hate that when you think you saved it to your stuff and you anyway? This I'm going to find it again though and send it to you. But this was so cool. Dogs, right?
Yeah, the ones you've been sending me, you sent me like three the other day, but all of them were not the right because I saw the description of the ones you sent, and everyone went to the wrong link, so I couldn't see any of the videos. It's super annoying that like
Well,
if you send someone Instagram videos just links on the text,
and that
a lot of
happens to
times
me when you send
you
them
click,
too.
yeah,
Sometimes.
yeah, it's getting
Yeah.
annoying because it's like I think we're gonna have to start sending just through Instagram DM because that's the only way to actually get it right. But
No,
anyway,
but no.
so what's the video? What's the video you're talking about?
Well, let me just say one more thing about that. What I found, and it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but if you turn your phone off,
Yeah, that's
and
like,
turn
yeah.
it back on. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's like Control Alt Delete type shit. There's this guy sitting in his backyard, probably maybe late 60s, very thin, looked like he had medical issues and whatever that kind of. But he was in his backyard. He was sitting at the bench, and they tell you what happened there, that he had lost a lot of weight. He just came home. He was in a hospital for a while and he just came home. He had lost a lot of weight, and his dog was in the backyard and his wife was in the backyard, and the dog was barking at because the dog didn't. He lost so much weight, the dog didn't recognize who the hell he was. And so he's sitting on the bench and he's calling him over. The dog's barking. So the wife finally says, come on, Butchie, or whatever the damn dog's name was. Lovely dog. Anyway. But bringing the dog over, and the dog gets to about 6 feet of him, and he's still kind of hesitant. He's growling, and then the wife brings him a little closer, and you could see the dog you could tell that dog was still a little tense. And then the guy puts his fist out gently, and then the dog puts his snout over to the fist and smells him. And Sean, within 3/4 of a second, the dog smelled him and he jumping all over him with his tail wagging and licking him. And I swear to God,
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. Did you send that to me or did I send it to you?
I
don't
must have
remember.
sent it to you. Maybe you sent it to me. I don't know. We trade so many of them. It's hard to. But that one was
Yeah.
so great. That dogs are so great, man. They really are.
Yeah,
They
their
really
sense of smell is beyond ridiculous. Like they could smell things. I feel like they could smell things at least a mile away. I'm
Yeah.
not even joking. I'm
Well,
not
they're
like
too.
serious. Like,
No, they can't. And I saw. I've seen a zoologist talk about this. Their sense of smell is not 5 times greater than ours. It's not 50 times greater than ours. Their sense of smell is 500 times more effective than ours. Go look it up. Swear to God. But it was not only that sense of smell, like they can remember, which is cool. But then you saw the dog, how excited and emotional the dog was too to see his owner. So it was two things. It was fascination over the sense of smell, but it was like, wow, he recognizes him. And I'll just add one more thing to that. I got relatives that live out in Indiana, okay? And their dog, this is going back 15 years, but their dog knew who I was. That dog, I visited enough and this and that. Well, I had not visited for 4 years. For 4 years. So I go back and I go to visit, and my sister says, I just gotta, I gotta make sure the princess is all right, because sometimes if she might not remember, and she come up the stairs and she growled a little and looked at me, and I went, princess, like that. And she came over real slow, and then she hit me almost the same way. I swear, almost the same way. She remembered when she got close enough to me. But their sense of smell, and dogs are great. Their loyalty, and it's just it's a cool thing. I want to say, can I just say one thing? It's a quick chance for me. I just wanted to share something. Little public safety.
yeah, we're gonna do
I'll take
right
30
after you,
seconds.
right
I
after you
just
do
want to
this.
tell
I'm
you.
gonna do,
Okay.
right after you do this, I'm gonna do movie reviews right after this.
Not a problem. Sometimes when I'm laying in bed, and my brother had sleep apnea too, God rest his soul. I don't think he passed away from that. It was a heart attack or whatever. But he was 340 pounds. I'm like 218. But anyway, nevertheless, I sometimes when I'm sleeping, I can wake up and I hear that noise, that sound. And so I know I've been snoring a little bit, and I suddenly wake up and I'm thinking, am I, so, and it's been going on a while. Okay. And I don't always feel the most, I can sleep for a long time, 8 hours, and sometimes not feel all that refreshed. Like, so it depends on it affects the quality of your sleep and everything else. So, but here's the point. I saw this product and I've been pleased with it, and I wanted to share it, because sleep apnea can literally kill you. And any guys out there, not just guys, any guy, when I say guys, I mean anybody, guys, girls.
Yeah. So what's the product?
The product, Shawnee, is a mouthpiece, which is good. There's no drugs, right? They're going at this thing mechanically. It's a little mouthpiece called Z Quiet. And it cost me like 20, I think it was $29 or whatever it is. It's a little mouthpiece. And what it does, Sean, is it just takes your lower jaw and extends it a little lower, extends it out a little bit. And I'm telling you that if you just try it sitting there, and you have not through your nose, but through your mouth, because most of us breathe through our mouth, but either way, if you take your mouth and just slightly open and just take a slow, deep breath, and then stick your lower jaw out about an inch and do the same thing, the pathway just opens right up. And that's what happens when we, I don't want to get deep into it, but when we sleep, Sean, the back of a muscle in the back of our tongue, like back in there, it relaxes, and it relaxes so much that it can impede air. What this does is move everything just ever so slightly, just by moving that lower jaw forward just
Yeah.
a little.
I
It's
get it. Yeah, it
fantastic.
makes sense. Makes sense.
So it's cool.
All right.
And
So was
I
that
like
was
it.
that the was that the PSA that you had planned
Yes.
on?
Yeah.
Okay,
Public
I just
safety.
want to make
Yep.
sure. Okay. Yeah, I
Sure.
want to make
Go ahead.
sure. So anyone who's has got issues with sleep apnea, Joe just gave you a assist called Z something.
Yeah.
And
Snoring
yeah,
is an indicator that you might have sleep apnea
they
too.
are not a sponsor of our show, but maybe they
No,
will be.
no. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, because yeah. Anyway, so movie review. So I've seen a couple movies lately. Like I said, it's been about a month since the last show. Um, I saw a movie Monday I loved, speaking of dogs, called Arthur the King, starring Mark Wahlberg. And I don't know who his agent is, but his agent needs a raise because his agent chooses excellent scripts. I always love the movies Wahlberg's in. He plays an adventure racer who's kind of like, he always comes up short, and he's kind of
Right.
like, but he's doing a race. He's back in the racing. He's doing a race, and then they find a stray dog, and the stray dog befriends him, and he starts feeding the stray dog meatballs that he made. And the stray dog, somehow this race goes on for miles and miles, and somehow this dog is finding shortcuts and stuff, and keeps finding the group, their adventure. The adventure team's like 5 people. It's like 5 teammates. They do these like climbing, hiking, kayaking, all that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he befriends the dog, and it just really turns into a heartwarming story. The guy befriends the dog, and then all the stuff happens, and the dog's there, and there's all this drama and this and that. I give that movie a 8.2. I really liked it.
Oh,
That's
cool.
called Arthur the King. Movie I saw actually. So a couple of these movies that I see at AMC, because I have the AMC movie subscription. It's called Screen Unseen. Monday nights at around 7 o'clock, they have a movie. It's about $5 for the movie, so people could pay $5 to go see the movie. The problem is they don't know what they're going to see. So I go to these. I go to these sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to see, but I do some homework and I kind of figure out. People online are like, okay, they said the movie's going to be 2 hours. This movie's supposed to be 2 hours. This movie's rated PG. This movie's rated PG. So they try to predict what the movie's going to be, and a lot of times they actually are correct. So I kind of go into it with a kind of a hunch of what it's going to be. But anyway, I saw another movie a couple weeks ago that I didn't know what it was going to be. It's called Out of Darkness. It's about prehistoric civilization, like cavemen, and all these superstitions and how they start believing in like God and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So all
Mm-hmm.
crazy. It's really like a period piece, and it's like
Mm-hmm. That's
they start
interesting to me, though.
they're scared of like this creature that starts eating them one by one, and then there's a big twist at the end. They discover like what the creature actually is, and it's one of those. It's very good. I really enjoyed it. I give it a 7.7. That's very good. So those two movies I recommend: Arthur the King and Out of Darkness. A movie that I don't recommend, um, that me and you saw, it's called Bob Marley One Love. It's Bob Marley's autobiography. It was friggin' horrible. It was boring. It was predictable. Nothing really happened. I didn't really learn a lot about Bob Marley. I would give that movie a 5.4. What would you give it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement with you. I wanted to find out a little bit more about Bob Marley. I did. It was cool. It was something to watch and something to do on a chill Saturday. But as far as being a really good movie, yeah, I thought it was middle of the road. So middle of the road to me is I'll tell you what, I'll be generous, say 5.5. But
So,
it
did you
was
learn
okay
anything
though.
about, did you learn anything about him though? I feel like I didn't learn anything about him. I was just like,
Well, maybe
okay,
you
like,
knew more about him going in than I did. I mean, I know he was a musician, obviously. I shot the sheriff, and don't you worry about a thing. Those. I knew the music. I know he was into this reggae. I'm not really heavy into reggae. I know he liked to get high. He liked to smoke grass. So what? Okay, it's what the hell's that? But so he was like the Snoop Dogg of reggae. If it's kind of like what I kind of think of this dude. But I wanted to find out more about where he was from. I knew he was from, where he was from, uh, Jamaica, man. And I wanted to find out about his early days, and I wanted to find out
is
more
that
about
song you're talking about? The song you're talking about, Don't Worry About a Thing, is like, every little thing's gonna be all right.
every little thing gonna be all right. Yep, that's him. That's
Yep.
him.
Okay.
So anyway, long story short, I did learn a few things about, I wanted to picture like his upbringing and where I found out his
Yeah,
dad
we
was,
really didn't get a picture
yeah,
of that. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, his dad was white and this and that caused he turned around and he got wound up getting melanoma in later on in his life, Um, you know, and that's a Caucasian thing for the most part, really, is
Yeah, I
statistically.
think the problem with that whole, I don't want to give away what happens in the movie, but he had a choice to make. He could cut off his toe, and like he was stubborn. He didn't want to cut off his toe, and like that could have like saved his life. I thought that was interesting, but
Yeah, I agree. But it was an okay movie. It was
yeah.
okay.
But what was worse, the Bob Marley movie or the Chinese food we had after?
Chinese food after. That was
Okay.
absolutely, I mean, really, and it's not anyone's fault because it's just one of those things that now, now we know. That's all. But
Because we got a recommend. I got a recommendation from someone who lives locally, and I'm not going to name
well,
this person, but what I'm
no,
going to say is they I trusted they're like, okay, this is good Chinese, go there. Because they're dissing the Chinese place that I usually go to, they were dissing that place. They're saying that place is dirty, it's not good. So I'm like, all right, what's the other place? So then I was like, all right, I'll go there. And then Joe and I went there, and I got sesame chicken. He got some sort of orange beef, dumplings, lo mein, all sorts of stuff that Chinese places have, and none of the stuff was really good at all. I mean, the only thing that I enjoyed was probably the hot tea, and that's kind of tough to mess up.
yeah, and believe me,
What was the big? You said your beef was stringy, and so was my chicken was stringy. It was really tough to chew
it was
because
stringy and
the waiter even
rubbery.
the waiter even said to you, he's like, "Are you sure you don't want to bring that home?" And you're like, you're probably saying like, I probably you probably had all those
And
pieces of meat. You
well,
probably
he
had all those pieces of beef in your mouth at one point, and you were trying to chew and swallow, but you couldn't. That's how stringy the beef was.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing he kind of was irritating me too because it's like, dude, it's. I said, he says, "Oh, you want me to wrap it up?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No, no, no, that's cool." Now, what does that tell you? It tells you that I really don't want it. But then he's like, "What? What's wrong? You do not like?" I'm like, "Yo, cuz, what the fuck, man? If I liked it, I'd have you wrapping up for me. What do you have to stand here and have a fucking debate? You want me to tell you that it sucked? But I'm telling you is I'm done and I don't want to take any with me. Very politely. He's like, "You want me to wrap up?" I was like, "No, no, no, it's all right." So just leave it there. He was getting on my nerves at other things too. He was a little bit too. It was just listen. We still gave a tip. I still gave him a tip, right? It's not a
Yeah,
problem.
took him
But there's
over 20. He got over 20%. So
right, and really 15 could have cut it for. I mean, he's just a little too, And then I was early on. I had the duck sauce in front of me. I had the hot mustard. And what I do with the egg roll, I like to dip my egg roll in the hot mustard just a little bit, and then dip it in the duck sauce. And as I was asking him for a refill with duck sauce, he saw me do that. And instead of just thinking, okay, he's dunking that, okay, I'm just going to get him a new one. He stood there staring at the bowl and my hand like I was like I just messed up his whole Saturday night. And I just turned to him. If you remember, I said, just give me another bowl of. He was starting to irritate me. And even toward the end there, Sean, when I was counting the money at the table and getting everything square, he come rushing up again. He come rushing up again because he saw the green, and he's come rushing up again, like, okay, have a good night, guys, like that, and like, hey, 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 and it was just, and me, Sean,
yeah.
with servers, I always give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, let me
I
say
really,
something about
really do.
you. What I noticed, we had the duck sauce and the little Chinese cracker things.
Yeah,
I feel like I
noodles.
feel like you're a double dipper. I feel like I didn't say anything, but I feel like you were double dipping.
I don't,
You
I
know?
don't believe so because what I do with those, Sean.
See, I thought that's why I don't want to I don't want to say anything. I was like, I was like, I'm not going to eat any of this because Joe's just double dipping. I don't want to.
Well, that's another reason why I want my own fucking bowl. So,
What I
yeah.
mean? But
Well, then
I
you
said,
should have,
I
Sean.
said
You had
I'm gonna wait.
every right. You
I know.
should have
I said
said
I'm gonna
something to
wait.
me.
I'm gonna bring it up on the show because it's gonna be funny to hear your reaction on the
Oh,
show. So I waited.
do you know what it is, Shawnee? That I didn't see you using. I always lay back and I see who's doing. I'm only with one person, and I didn't see you grab the dry noodles, like little dry noodles. I didn't see you go for any of that, so I figured he's not into it. And then I pretty much at that point figured if he's not going to be using these because it doesn't, I mean, then I'm going to use it. But you could have,
Yeah.
Shawnee, you could have at any time said to me or the
I
waiter,
know because
I'd like my own
honestly,
bowl.
this is part of doing the show. The
Sorry
part of
about
doing
that. But
part of doing the show is like, okay, I don't want to like we're having a good time or good conversation. I don't want to make this awkward and like accuse this man of double dipping. What I'm
oh, I
gonna
don't give a
do is
fuck.
I'm gonna wait till the next episode. I'm gonna wait till the next episode of Zero Front and just catch him on the spot and just hear his reaction. You know what I mean?
Okay,
I
yeah.
knew I knew it wouldn't like piss you off really. Like it's not like this. He's not gonna fly off the handle as this. You know what I mean? Like
No, and rest assured, if it were even one more person, like it was just the two of us, and I didn't see you going for it, but don't get it twisted. It's if it were three or four people sitting around the table, I'm not going to start
yeah.
this. And what I probably would do is get my own bowl of mustard. And I've done that before. Get my own little bowl of mustard and my own little bowl of duck sauce because I work those pretty good. I dip the egg roll in there, and then I I dip my dumplings in there too. So that's how I
Yeah.
do. Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna do lyrics. I really almost forgot about the lyrics. So lyrics. Ready for these?
Yes.
Here we go. If you're feeling small, I'll love your shadow. And if you're feeling small, I'll love your shadow. It's a song called Shadow by the band Bleachers from 2014 album Strange Desire. The singer of that band is Jack Antonoff. He was also the guitarist and drummer for the band called Fun. Some people might remember that band, that song called We Are Young. The dude's very talented. He co-produced Taylor Swift's like one of her last albums, Midnights. He co-wrote like 11 out of 13 songs. Or he did like half more than 75% of the album. He's talented as hell. He's in Bleachers. That band does not get enough attention. But this song to me, I like this band a lot. And some of my favorite songs by them are like one song is called Chinatown that features Bruce Springsteen, um, and Roller Coasters. I didn't even know this song existed until like a week ago. I was at work and it came on my playlist, and all of a sudden I'm listening. I'm like, all right, this is okay. But then later on, this is what happens. If I don't really like a song or I don't think I like a song, later on I start hearing it playing in my mind. I'm like, okay, I got to go back to that song, give it another listen. So then I've been listening to this song like crazy. And basically the lyrics mean, Joe, is if you're like, if you're dating a person, or, if that person's feeling like really small, they don't feel like you're giving them enough attention, or they're just not getting what they need. You're basically telling them like, if you're feeling small, I'll love your shadow. Like, say you're feeling small, you're not, you're just not, you can't enough to offer, that type of thing. You're just feeling really just like, not seeing that type of thing. Their shadow will still be appreciated. They're never going to let it fade away. That love for them, it's just, they're going to love their shadow too. Even if the person's feeling like they're not seen, they're going to love their shadow too.
I
So I
got
thought
you. I got you.
it's just to me, because I started reading more about the meaning of the lyrics and how they're interpreted. I'm like, oh, that's pretty deep. I just think the song is a catchy song. I'm going to recommend the song. It's very good, but it's kind of a cool song when you think about it. If you're feeling small, I'll love your shadow. And he repeats it. And if you're feeling small, I'll love your shadow. I kind of dig it.
Yeah, and I guess presumably the shadow is going to be much longer than the person, much bigger
Yeah,
to the eye.
yeah,
So when you don't see anything else in yourself, I'll still see something in you. That's kind of what I get from it. And I
yeah. It's
like that.
cool.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like
So
that,
that's
bro.
Bleachers, Shadow. But anyway, let's get to sports. We're gonna wrap up the show pretty soon. I think
I
we're
got
gonna
a
hit a lot.
couple pet peeves. I got a
Oh yeah.
couple
Oh
pet
no,
peeves. It's
dude. Yeah,
irritating the shit out of me. I got to get to it.
exactly. 'Cause my my pet peeve was you not reminding me that you had pet peeves, so now you reminded me. So that's not a pet peeve anymore.
What, dude? No, I'm just messing with you.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
just
So
kidding. I'm
what's your
kidding.
pet? What's your pet
Well, there are
peeves?
a couple, and then I have something. Okay, so let's get to the first thing. Um, okay, looking into the camera. Sitcoms. Sitcoms used to
Oh
be.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying.
I loved it. It used to be even as recently as King of Queens. You know me. You asked me, "What are you doing?" So I'm stringing along King of Queens here. There's a channel on cable that rolls them all the time. Plus, I can dial it up anytime I want. But even as recently as that, you're talking about a live audience, and it's just different. It's a whole different. And I noticed that when the audiences went away, the jokes got a little less funny and a little more mundane. Excuse me, to the point where in a lot of these shows today, they're not even jokes. It's not even fun. It's just like cute little comments they make. And you compare this to some of the comedy of old. And I'm just telling you, even as recently as King of Queens. I mean, so, yeah, but that whole thing about there's no studio audience, and then the person looks. And I think it started with The Office or something like that. And maybe for that it worked. But it's like,
Wait,
okay,
so you think this show should have a laugh track? Because a lot of times they didn't have an audience. They had they're just inserting they had recordings of people laughing and they just insert that into the show.
well, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And you don't know that no
Because
one
that's what
knows
you
that.
talked about. This is what you talked
Well,
about too.
hold on, hold on. Yeah, now let me get to that one. So
Yeah.
it's the um looking into the damn camera, like, oh, look what I have to go through. I don't like that at all. It irritates me to
Yeah.
no end. Okay, that's the first one. The other one is I don't know where in the hell when this happened, but people particularly of the young, and I'm not against young people, but yeah, but ending words in a, like, oh my God, duh. Well, what the fuck is that shit? You know what I mean? It's like, leave me alone. What is this bullshit that's coming after these words? I don't understand it. I just it irritates me. I'm like saying to them, what the fuck? I just don't like it. Okay, what's the
Yeah.
next thing? Sports radio talk is irritating. It's Shawnee, like stone cold sports radio talk. Jesus God, is it? I mean, I'm thinking, you get Wally from Fairlawn that calls up and she goes, hey, Vince, um, do you think the Giants could win the Super Bowl next year? I mean, you get the dumbest fucking shit all day long, and you get these. I'm telling you, some of it's applicable. Sports geeks. I mean, we love sports, but some of these dudes are just sports geeks. It's ridiculous. That's one thing that bothers me about sports radio. And also well, there are many things. Another thing that bothers me about sports radio or even TV sports programs is every time a guy does something, it's like right then and there. It's like too hasty. It's like jumping the gun. It's like, now is he just caught 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Is he the best receiver to ever play the game? It's like, what the whoa, 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 whoa. And it's like they do this all the time. They do this all the time. Every next guy that does something, is he now the GOAT? That's another thing, the term GOAT. You
Yeah.
know, greatest of all time is a singular, right?
Yeah, I think we might have done that already.
Yes,
Did
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole,
yeah,
but yeah, that one that irritates me, and I know I'm going to be outnumbered on this, but I have to get it off my chest anyway.
yeah.
Daylight, daylight savings time, daylight savings time. We don't need to be doing this bullshit. We don't need to be doing it. Just leave the fucking clock alone. I know it was done centuries
Yeah,
ago
but think about it.
because it was
If they
agrarian.
don't, but if they don't do the daylight savings time, let's think about this for a second. So would that mean, that, okay, so you're used to getting dark around 5 o'clock. So
Yeah.
if you don't mess with the time, it's not always going to get dark around 5. It's still going to change. Is that the way it's going to work?
Well, no, it'll still change seasonally. Like in the summer, the sun's going to go down, Shawnee, like later than it will in January. But it's just, when the sun, instead of being light till like 8:45, it's like, I like the nighttime, Sean. I love that. I'm so happy in the fall when they turn the clocks back. It's like, wow, I get an hour extra sleep and
Yeah.
it's going to start getting darker earlier, which I
You,
like. I
you know,
like the evening.
who's often credited as the first person to suggest daylight savings time?
I don't know.
Benjamin Franklin in the 18th century. He realized he was wasting his mornings is staying in bed. So it's the whole point is so people can make more use of daylight.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, Ben. You fucked it up. Anyway, uh, no, I have no problem with, okay, Shawnee, naturally in the spring and summer, that's just the sun and the relationship to the earth. It's going to be getting darker later in the summer, but Jesus Christ, we got to go with this. And it was done for agrarian cultures, but it's outlived its need,
Yeah.
and we should just leave it alone. Um, what else?
Let me just remind people, this is a pet peeve of mine, the pet peeve for myself is that I don't do enough reminding of the social media and the rating of the show. Like anybody who likes our show, please rate us on Spotify and Apple, but also we have a Twitter account now. It's called Zero Front Pod. We're starting to put out clips of the show. And I don't know if this got you thinking about this yesterday, Joe. I sent you the link to the Twitter and it was just a 2-minute clip from last season of you talking about some of your it was just talking about like one of your pet peeves about legacy.
Legacies, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just like if you like the show and you want to like promote it to your friends without sending them the full episode, so they have to listen to the whole thing. Be like, well, send them a link,
Yeah.
send them a link, and then they'll hear like a 2-minute clip and be like, oh, that's interesting. Because I think that's the way. Because we haven't done any promoting, so that's just one thing a pet peeve. It's like we actually promote the show. It's cool that we're doing the show and we have our listeners, and we have actually a decent amount. Like you said, Joe, you're surprised at how many we have so far,
Yeah,
but
one thing I wanted to say real quickly,
yeah,
Sean, let you get right back to it, is that I noticed a nice difference. No, not crazy or anything. And we're doing this for fun, Shawnee. If we are able to make some side bucks, that'd be cool. But we're not, we're not. But anyway, uh, we noticed a considerable. It was a nice increase in the amount of listeners we had in season 2 as opposed to season 1. But I guess that's just natural. And we didn't do any promoting. And I think what it is just our folks. And we want to tell you out there, our listeners, we love you and we thank you because somebody has been with word of mouth getting it out there because of the profound difference we've seen in the numbers. And that's good. As we go along, we like them to increase. So listeners, we love you. We thank you. Keep up the good work. And go ahead, Sean. What were you talking?
yeah. So you're finishing your pet peeves, but I just wanted to get that in there, like, because like we do have a Twitter account now. Instagram, we haven't posted anything yet, but we're gonna start putting out clips, and then also we're gonna put. I think the YouTube has an option to put the show on YouTube now, a YouTube podcast. So we're gonna get the show on YouTube because I think like there's a lot of people who like consume stuff on YouTube. We haven't even hit that market yet, but anyway, so you got your pet peeves. Any more pet peeves, Joe?
No, no.
All right. Let's quickly just get to sports really quickly before we wrap up. Aaron Donald retired today, man. The guy he was a beast, man. While he played, man, he was good.
He was
He's a
something
Hall of
else.
Fame. He's a Hall of Famer, right?
He's got to be. I mean, he won that Super Bowl. I mean, they won it as a team, but he made a Brandon Graham type play to win to clinch the Super Bowl when they were in it against the
Yeah.
Bengals. So
And
yeah, but he's great.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Villanova's season's pretty much over. They're probably not going to make the tournament. They lost in the Big East tournament last night to Marquette, even though Marquette was missing their best player. Kyle Neptune has been he's still a work in progress, but I'm kind of hoping, to be honest with you, as a selfish Villanova fan for the program, that not making the tournament is enough for the athletic director and the administration to say, let's get a better coach in. Jay Wright built this program up. It took him years to build our program to literally the top program in the country. We were rated. And now we got this other guy as coach. I know basketball has changed. The transfer students now, it's not the same, but I'm hoping that, we can get a better coach and start building this program, back up to what it was. Anyway, so Villanova season's over, but I'm happy with the Eagles, though. The Eagles got one of the best running backs in football, Saquon Barkley, from a division rival. So when I saw that, I was super happy. How'd you feel about that, Joe? Saquon Barkley to the Eagles.
Yeah, I told you my original hunch was because I love Derrick Henry. I just love that kind of, and I see Derrick Henry and I'm thinking he could be what LeGarrette Blunt was, and that's what the last time they won it all is when they had a power back
They
like
they
that.
could
So
have we could have got Derrick Henry, but he only got like, he got way less money than Barkley. Obviously, we like Barkley better.
well, right, yeah, and they seem to forget what LeGarrette Blunt did for. I don't know, but they don't seem to be interested in a runner like that. But we'll see what happens.
He's also
This guy's dangerous. This guy's dangerous. I mean,
Derek, yeah, but Derek Henry's 30. I think Barkley's only like 27. So we got to, and running back, that's a huge difference. 3 years is huge, dude.
Oh yeah, 3 years of playing running back in that league can really do a number. I think that's a great acquisition. I think we got Gardner Johnson back in the middle. I mean, in defensively, we signed the kid White from Devin White from the Buccaneers, that linebacker. He was good, and the Buccaneers don't like him. That's fine. Vic Fangio likes him. So he brought him in, and he's here on a 1-year deal. And hopefully they'll make that more. What else did they do? They re-signed their left guard, which is he was from Alabama, Dickerson, tremendous. They've been doing everything right so far. We'll see how the draft goes. We'll see what goes on.
And you have no complaints that they kept Sirianni.
No, not at all, because the guy went to the Super Bowl the year before, right? And because of that collapse last year, that wasn't all on him. That really wasn't all on him. And his players love him. So when you have a culture like that, Sean, these guys that Jason Kelsey, Cox, Fletcher Cox, all these guys and the guys that are currently on the team who you would expect, but no one has any bad shit to say about him. They all like him. They all think he's a good leader. And you know what? Sirianni is going to be, you got to look at him progressively too. He's going into year 4. You're going to see this guy is going to really develop. The head coach position in the National Football League is like any other job, right? you get experience as you go and you learn as you go. So he's going to be a better coach 3 years from now than he is now. He's a hell of a lot better than he was three. You see where I'm going with that? So
Yeah.
he's not incompetent at all. And I'm happy to have him. What else did they do? They did.
Let's
Oh,
not
they,
get
they
let's
got
not
that
get
Huff.
caught up with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everything they did. Listen, the Eagles. This is me and you are Eagles fans. We get that. I'm happy with the moves. I mean, I could have. I would rather have Belichick or Tomlin or, um, I'd rather have someone else in the series. Listen. I'm not. I haven't given up on Nick Sirianni yet. Let's
That's
give
my point.
let's
That there
give him
was no
one
reason to
now.
wipe.
But now he has some more weapons. He's got some
There's
more
no
defensive.
reason to wipe the dry erase board
Yeah.
clean just yet, Sean. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
So
If you do, then I'll take Belichick or Tomlin or someone like that too. When it's time to wipe the whiteboard clean, but it's not, and hopefully it won't be. But go ahead.
Yeah. I quickly forgot during the movie reviews. I forgot I saw a movie like today. It's called Love Lies Bleeding. It's starring Kristen Stewart. But I had to mention this because Ed Harris is one of the stars of this movie. So season one, we talked a lot. We did an actor every show. We used to talk about Ed Harris every show.
Yeah.
So this movie, Ed Harris played kind of like the scumbag criminal guy. He's kind of he's one of those guys he's bald, but he has long hair too. You know what I mean? Like they're bald on top, they have like the long hair on the
Oh
sides.
yeah, like the aforementioned Ben Franklin, right?
It goes
right,
like,
right.
yeah. So yeah, Love Lies Bleeding. I enjoyed
Your
it.
microphone is starting a little bit, Shawnee.
Hold on. Does it start again?
Yep.
Hold on. All right, so sorry, we had a little something. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or the mic, but we have to pause the stream. So anyway, I was talking about the movie Love Lies Bleeding, starring Kristen Stewart. Really enjoyed it. It got a little weird at times. It did a little type of like imaging and metaphor. These movie makers get a little bit too they overthink themselves. They try to use like images and like crazy things that it's not based in reality to make it more like artistic. And I really never enjoy that. I just want to see exactly what happens. So yeah, 7.7 for Love Lies Bleeding. Ed Harris is in it. That's why I brought it up. Because I think Joe, you just brought up you're talking about something, or I was reading, I don't know. Who cares?
I don't know, but Love Lies Bleeding just takes me right to, Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding. Love lies bleeding in my hand. I wonder if that's where they got it from. I don't know, but go ahead. I wonder if
I realized the
litany.
Eagles,
They could have got the litany from that song, but go ahead.
Yeah. The Eagles improved in the offseason. Happy about that. Villanova had a horrible season. That's
well.
sports for Aaron Donald retired. That's sports for today. Any closing words, Joe?
All right. In closing, without struggle, there can be no progress. Good night.
Take care, everyone.